I first came across a picture of these cookies, I thought to myself, is that a French macaron? But upon further investigation, I realized that they were a Hungarian cookie called a non plus ultra, which funnily enough isn't even a Hungarian name. Non plus ultra is a Latin phrase which means nothing further beyond, meaning there's nothing better in the world than these cookies. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but they are pretty darn delicious. They're 2 short crust butter cookies sandwiched together with apricot jam and capped with a crunchy, chewy meringue topping. They are delicious. So today, join me as I share with you the recipe and history of these delicious Hungarian treats. Let's get started. First, we're going to begin with the cookie dough. To a bowl, add 300 grams or 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 100 grams or 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then whisk briefly to combine. Then add in 14 tablespoons or 200 grams of chilled unsalted butter. With your hands, rub the butter into the dry ingredients, breaking up the larger pieces of the butter and incorporating it with the flour. You're looking for the texture of clumpy wet sand. This cookie first appeared in 1955 in a cookbook written by Ilona Horváth and was first published by the Hungarian Women's Democratic Association. It was a thin book of 125 pages, but was later expanded the following year with an extra 294 pages of recipes. This book went on to have 20 more editions and is still a classic on the shelves of many Hungarian homes today. Then add in 3 egg yolks and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Work until you have a rough dough. Pour the contents of your bowl onto your work surface and knead just until you have a cohesive, smooth dough. Then you're going to wrap in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 30 minutes. This is a type of cookie that is a classic homemade cookie, not usually one found in professional bakeries. After 30 minutes, sprinkle your work surface generously with flour, coating the back and front of your dough. This dough is extremely soft, so the extra flour is necessary, especially if you're using European-style butter, which has a higher butterfat percentage than American butter. I recommend using Kerrygold if you're in the United States. Roll out the dough until it is a 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters thick. Then cut out circles with a cookie cutter that is 2 inches or 5 centimeters in diameter. Place your cookies on a parchment-lined cookie sheet a 1/2 inch or 1 1/4 centimeters apart. They can be pretty close together because they don't really spread during baking. I found that this dough was really soft and hard to transfer the cookies to the baking sheet without creating a misshapen circle. It didn't really seem to matter how long I refrigerated the dough. By the time I rolled it out, it was very soft again. So for the second rollout, I rolled it out on the parchment that I was going to bake them on and just pulled away the dough that was around the cutouts. That way I didn't have to transfer them and they remained perfect circles. After cutting them all out, you're going to cover the trays and place the baking sheets in the refrigerator while making the meringue topping. For the meringue, put 3 egg whites in a large bowl with 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. Beat with an electric mixer and add in 225 grams or 2 cups of sifted powdered sugar. Beat until glossy and has stiff peaks. Then spoon the meringue into a piping bag with a fluted tip, though you can use a plastic resealable bag or also just spoon the meringue onto the cookies, but it won't have as finished of a look. If you're interested in buying or looking into Ilona Horváth's book, I will link the original version and today's version below. It's a great introduction into Hungarian cuisine, especially if it's a cuisine you're not familiar with. Then bake the cookies in a 350-degree Fahrenheit or 180-degree Celsius preheated oven for 12 to 15 minutes, or until slightly golden around the edges of the butter cookies. Place on a rack to cool completely. After cooling, spread about half a teaspoon of apricot jam onto one cookie, and then sandwich 2 cookies together. If your apricot jam has chunks in it, you'll want to strain the jam through a sieve before doing this. Often with jam sandwich cookies, it's best to let them set a couple of hours or overnight if your cookies are slipping and sliding. The jam I purchased was a little of a thicker spread, so I didn't need to let them set, but check your cookies to see if they're set before serving them to others.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. These are such a delicious and elegant little cookie. There's such a variety of textures in one single bite, and they're really not that difficult to make. The next time you need to bring a dessert somewhere, try bringing these. They look quite impressive when really they don't take that long at all. If you want to see what I'm doing between videos, follow me on social media. I'll link all of my accounts below. Every day on Twitter and Facebook, I share interesting tidbits about European food history. And if you learned something in this video and you want to support this channel, give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you don't miss a video when they come out. And if you're looking for more cookie recipes, try my German cookies. Or if you want something totally different, try my Scottish Kranikin. And I'll see you next time.